The millionaire froze in the middle of the airport terminal, his expensive suitcase slipping from his hand. Across the crowded hall, between crying babies and rolling luggage, he saw a woman he never expected to see again. She was thinner, tired, older. And she was holding two identical toddlers, each gripping one of her fingers. For a moment, he smiled in disbelief. Then one of the twins looked up. And the smile vanished. Because those eyes looked exactly like his. Years ago, Alexander Kane believed he had conquered life. At 36, he was a self-made millionaire. His tech empire was growing faster than anyone predicted. Magazines praised his discipline. Investors trusted his instincts. People called him brilliant but cold. What no one wrote about was the quiet woman who cleaned his penthouse every morning before sunrise. Her name was Elena. Elena never complained. She arrived before he woke, left before meetings began, and worked with a gentleness that felt almost invisible. She spoke softly, always respectful, always careful not to disturb his world. At first, Alexander barely noticed her. But over time, he began to sense her presence in small ways: the perfectly folded jacket he forgot on a chair, the coffee cup washed even when untouched, the faint humming echoing from another room. One rainy night, after a brutal board meeting ended his engagement and nearly collapsed a deal, Alexander came home broken in a way money couldn't fix. Elena was still there, cleaning the kitchen. She looked at him, really looked at him, and quietly asked, "Are you okay, sir?" No one had asked him that in years. That night turned into a conversation. The conversation turned into shared silence. The silence turned into something neither of them planned. Alexander told himself it was temporary. Elena told herself nothing at all. Weeks later, Elena disappeared. No note. No goodbye. No explanation. Alexander was relieved, or so he claimed. He returned to his routine, his success, his loneliness. Until now. Until the airport. Elena tried to turn away, but the twins tugged her hands, confused. Alexander stepped forward, his voice trembling. "Elena, is it you?" She swallowed hard. "Yes." He crouched instinctively to the twins' level. One of them smiled. The other studied him carefully, as if recognizing something familiar. "How old are they?" Alexander asked, already knowing the answer. Elena hesitated. 3. 3 years. Exactly 3 years since she vanished. The airport faded around him. No announcements. No footsteps. Just the sound of his own breath cracking under the weight of truth. "You never told me," he whispered. "I tried," she said, her voice breaking. "I called. I wrote. Your assistant blocked everything. When I came back to the building, security said I wasn't allowed inside." Alexander felt sick. He had built walls so high around his life that even truth couldn't climb them. Elena explained how she left the city, worked 3 jobs, slept on buses, skipped meals so her children wouldn't have to. How she never once asked for money, because pride was the only thing she still owned. "And today?" Alexander asked. "Why the airport?" She looked down. "We were deported. I couldn't renew my visa." The twins clung to her legs. In that moment, the men who had closed billion-dollar deals without blinking collapsed internally. Alexander did the one thing he had avoided his entire life. He begged. Not with money. Not with power. But with honesty. He took responsibility. Publicly. Legally. Emotionally. Months later, Elena and the twins moved into a modest home, their home. Not a penthouse. Not a palace. A place with warmth. Alexander learned how to read bedtime stories. How to apologize. How to listen. He lost contracts. He lost reputation. But for the first time, he gained something real.